This is going to be a little different because I'm actually not at home. I'm at school. This is my other job here at Selbu High School. And there isn't a bus until 5. So I'm going to be here until 5 and it's only 1:45 now. So I'm going to have to be recording from here because then I'll get on the bus and by the time I get home, it will already be time for your class. So it will be as usual, the video part of the class is a presentation. I'm recording it with a long time in advance because otherwise I would have to do it on the bus and I did not think it was gonna be a good idea to be on the bus doing it. Last class we talked about 2-word verbs. And we talked about some of them are literal. For example, to move back home. That's very literal. But then you have other ones that are not so literal. For example, to grow up. Which I think is kind of literal if you think about it, because you grow, then you become taller and you grow up. To take off is another one. And one of the things that we discussed last class is that sometimes it is okay for you to separate these verbs. For example, you can say Jane. Jane took her coat off. So you can separate it and have took her coat off, or you can say Jane took off her coat. They're both correct ways of saying that. To put on. To put on, I don't know if you can see this. To put on is the opposite of to take off. It's the opposite. So I put this symbol here, looks like a hashtag almost. It means it's the opposite. In my opinion, that symbol for different from mathematics is a good symbol to talk about opposites. So to put on is the opposite of to take off. We also learned something about to pick up. To pick up, I just picked up the laptop now. So you have to pick up. You can use it in a literal way and you can use it in a figurative way. Literally, I literally picked up the book. To pick up the book, to lift something, to pick up. But you can also use it in a figurative way. And one of the examples on the book was somebody can pick up a language. So when somebody picks up a language, they're not picking They're not lifting the language up. They're learning the language. They're picking up the language. To pick up a language. You can also pick up a skill, means to learn a skill. You can pick up anything, means to learn very easily. To pick up a language means to learn a language easily. You can say, for example, Jackson lived in Japan for a year and he picked up Japanese. He learned it while he was there. He didn't sit down and try to study it, but he learned it while he was there. To pick up a language, to pick up a skill. To look after, to look for. Let's take a look at some of the two-word verbs with look. To look up, to look for, to look after. So here you have some different usages for the verb to look. You can look something up. For example, I'm not sure what this grammar topic is. I'm not sure. I think I'm going to look it up in here. I'm going to look it up. To look up. I don't know what that word means. I'm going to look it up in the dictionary. So to look up. Of course, you can also say to look up to somebody, which is not a two-word verb, but it has three parts. To look up to. When you look up to somebody, you admire them. For example, you can say, I looked up to my dad, my father. I looked up to my dad, meaning I thought he was a role model for me. I thought he was somebody that I wanted to be. I wanted to be like him. I wanted to learn how he was and how he acted and the things that he did. And I looked up to him. I thought, wow, this person is amazing. To look up to someone, to admire. So it's different from just to look up. This is to look up to someone, which is a bit different. To look for. That's probably one of the two-word verbs that I use the most. Where are my keys? I have to look for them. I don't know where they are. I'm looking for my keys. I'm always looking for something. So to look for, to search. You don't know where something is, so you look for it. Where is it? Is it under my coat? Where is it? Is it on the floor? Is it in my bag? Where is it? I'm looking for something. To look after. To look after is different from to look for. Because when you say to look after, it means to take care of someone. Take care of someone. I wish I had something to make this higher. I think, let me see. Is this table a little bit higher? Do I have anything to make it higher? Never mind. To look after someone means to take care. So you can say, I trained to be a nurse, to look after people. Nurses look after their patients. I'm not getting paid to drink this. I'm not doing free advertisement for them either. I should cover the label. Anyway, to look after, to take care. You look after people. You can look after a dog, or like Steve was doing last week. She was looking after a cat. And there's a special name. When you look after a cat, it means you're cat sitting. So last week, Steve was cat sitting. Cat sitting, taking care of a cat. Dog sitting, taking care of a dog. Babysitting, taking care of a baby. And sometimes that can be used as a two-word verb of their own, of its own. To sit for. So if I say, Steve is going out of town with her whole family and she doesn't want the house to be by itself. She's afraid that burglars are going to come in. So I'm going to sit for her. I'm going to house sit. To house sit, to take care of somebody's house when they go on vacation. So to sit. You of course have the literal meaning of to sit, and you have the meaning as in to sit for, as in to take care of something for somebody. Those were some of the things that we talked about last class. I don't have my Webcam Max program on this computer because it's my work computer. So I have to put the pages right in front of you to show you anything. So this was the page that we did last class. We also talked about possibility and probability. On this page, if I say it might rain tomorrow, it means that I don't have... Trenger du rommet? Jeg lager video. Nei, det går bra. What was I saying? Yeah, when you're talking about probability and possibility, and when you know for sure that something is going to happen, you know for sure, you know it, you're 100% positive, then you can say it's going to rain tomorrow. I don't think you can really say that here in this area, because you may look, looking at the newspaper, and there it says, hey, it's going to be sunny tomorrow and everyone's going to be out wearing their summer dresses, and then you wake up in the morning and it's raining. So you can't really predict, but things that you can predict, things that you can even plan, that then you say it's going to be fantastic at the party. I'm gonna give everybody the time of their lives at this party. They're gonna have cake, they're gonna have good music. It will be fantastic. It is going to be fantastic. Which one is the best way to say it? If you plan it, it's going to be fantastic. If you're just saying it at spur of the moment, it'll be fine. So those are some of the things that we talked about in previous classes. In previous classes, we discussed that. But remember, might, there is a certain possibility that something is going to happen, is about here. Might. If you go up here and you say definitely, you're sure. Might, maybe it's going to happen, maybe not. But when you say definitely, then you're up here. You're sure. absolutely positive that something is going to happen. And I'm just going over the stuff that we discussed so that we can move on to newer things. I also assigned a few things for you to do at home with the audio files by yourself. Page 46 was what I assigned for you. You had to look at this girl and you had to describe her. The beginning of the description is already here. She's about 25. She's got black hair. She's got brown eyes. We have also talked about that. She's got, which is a more British way of saying it. She has got. She has got. She's got. And that's the British way to say it. British English. She's got. She's got. She has got black hair. The American way of saying it, she has black hair. She has black hair. She has black hair. She has got black hair. Both mean the same thing. One is British, the other one is American. She has got black hair is the same as saying she has black hair. The only difference is that one is the British way of saying, I've got a car. I've got an apartment. So I've got, I have. And if you want to ask a question, and if you want to use the British way of asking, you have to pay attention to the formula. Has she got blonde hair? Has she got blonde hair? Has she got blonde hair? That's the way to ask with have and got. And because the pronoun here is she, then it becomes has she got. Instead of have, it is has she got. In American English, which is probably what most people are used to, it would be, does she have? Does she have blonde hair? Does she have blonde hair? Does she have blonde hair? Has she got blonde hair? So if you prefer the British, you use has she got. If you prefer the American, does she have? Okay. Has she got? Does she have? Have you got? Do you have? Have they got? Do they have? You have to get used to the formulas and you have to pick either British or American. You shouldn't be mixing those up when you're using your structure of your sentences. If you're doing something in academic English or in business English, it's very important to keep one pattern. If you choose to say, have you got, then you also have to use British spellings for words like favor. That's the British spelling. Probably can't see very well. Favor. That's the British spelling. Favor. Collar, the same thing. Neighbor. Also, the British spelling, neighbor, favor, flavor, collar, with O-U-R. And in American English, without that extra U. And if you choose to use British English, you need to pay attention to that. And if you write favor, F-A-V-O-U-R, it means you also have to use center, theater. All of those words, you also have to spell them in that way, because that's the British spelling. You pronounce it the same way. If you pronounce it Sanner, you're going to keep pronouncing it Sanner. But if you're writing things in British English, it's very important that you use the British spelling. You have to choose one. You can't be mixing them. So when you have a word processor, like if you use, for example, Microsoft Word, select the type of English that you want. Select British English, then write everything in British English, and then the autocorrect will also do their job for you, and they will correct everything into British English, if that's your choice, of course. So in British English, she has got brown hair. She has got brown eyes. And in American English, she has brown eyes, she has black hair. So here you have some questions and answers. There are 4 questions. Do you like Mia? What's Mia like? How's Mia? What does Mia look like? So these 4 questions are kind of similar. What is the one thing that makes these questions similar? All of these questions are asking for information about Mia. One of the questions is about her physical appearance. Okay, so what does she look like? So you take the verb look and you think about looks. Look, what does she look like? So it's her appearance. If I say, what's she like? What's she like? This sounds strange, doesn't it? Because normally you would say, oh no, there's a verb there. I should use does or can or some sort of modal or an auxiliary something. I can't say what's she like. Oh yes, you can. What's she like means, is she a good person? Is she talkative? Does she blah, 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 yap all the time? Or is she quiet? Doesn't talk very much. So when you say, what's she like? You're actually asking her personality. What is her personality like? How is she as a human being? Right? What's she like? So when I ask that question, I'm asking about the personality of the person. And when I say, what does she look like? Is she curvy? Is she skinny? Is she a little chubby? Plus size? I don't want to be politically incorrect. Don't want to be fat shaming people or anything. That's not what I'm doing. I'm talking about people's appearances. So you can be plump, plus size, plump, P-L-U-M-P. Plump. Plus size models, they're usually plump. They're bigger. Plump. It's not a bad word, but probably It's very difficult to say something about somebody's size without insulting them. So you should probably not talk about it. That's my advice. What does she look like? She's fabulous. She's beautiful. She's extraordinarily, amazingly beautiful. She's devastatingly sexy. Doesn't matter if she's plus size or whatever. But just so you know, the word plump means plus size, chubby. Those are not words that you should be using. Some people don't like that. Some people can say, oh, I've heard my friends say, oh, I'm a large woman. If a friend of mine, for example, is a plus size lady, I've heard her say, I'm a large woman. I'm a big woman. But she wouldn't say I'm fat. I think people play fast and loose with the word fat, and it's becoming a very bad word to say. So people say, oh, he is a heavy set. He's a heavy set man. Instead of saying he's a fat man. It's not nice to say that, to describe someone. What does he look like? He's a heavy set man. Heavy set. Heavy set. He's a heavy set man. He's heavy set. He's heavy. He's a bigger guy. He's a big guy. Don't be saying he's fat. That's not nice. So let's continue. What does she look like? Means her appearance. What's she like? Her personality. She's intelligent. She's eloquent. She's a very nice person to talk to. She's very smart and she's polite. She's all that's good in the universe. Personality-wise, what's she like? Then you have the other question. How's Mia? When I say how's Mia, how is she? Is she sick? Is she healthy? Is she happy today? Is she having a sad time? Is she depressed? Is she up in the skies? So happy. How is she? How is she feeling? How is she doing? Meaning the state of mind. Happy, sad. She's well. She's unwell. How's Mia? How's Mia? And the very first one, the very first question, do you like Mia? Do you like Mia? Then we're using the verb like as a verb. I want to know if you like Mia. Do you enjoy her company? Do you get along with her? Do you guys talk and have a nice conversation every now and again? Do you like her? Do you find her pleasant? Do you find her an interesting person? Do you like her? So those are the themes for number 6.1. One of the questions, the first point on the book, the first point right here, the very first point, one of the questions asks about her health. Which one is it? How's Mia? One of the questions, the second point, asks for a physical description. What does she look like? Is she pretty? Is she tall? Is she short? Is she average height? Not too tall, not too short, average height. Is she average height? You know what I miss from this? Being able to just type everything and have it on the screen. Not going to happen here because I don't have the program installed on this laptop. But it's all good. We have the blackboard. Average height. Average height. If I say somebody is average height, I'm saying they're not too tall, they're not too short. They're not very tall, they're not very short. So I can say he is average height. I hate when that happens. His average height. Not very tall, not very short, his average. Average height. I'm not loving all this chalk on my pants. That's the bad part about the chalk, eh? Chalk. Chalk. When you have the magic marker on the whiteboards, you can't wear white or light clothing because sometimes you may get some of it on your clothes, and that's never fun. But this is not fun either because now I have white marks and on my pants, and those are brand new. Not brand new, but they're fairly new. Anyhow, this is chalk as opposed to magic markers. A magic marker is a marker that you write on a whiteboard and you can erase it. Therefore, magic marker. As opposed to a permanent marker, which you cannot erase. We use permanent markers to make posters and things that we want to keep. Moving along, think of more answers to the questions. Do you like Mia? Yes, she's my best friend. No, I can't stand her. Ugh. Mia? Can't stand her. Do you know what that means? It means that you really, really dislike her. I can't stand her. Ugh. But then you can also, you don't think that she's fantastic, but you don't think she's ugh either. So it's like, yeah, she's all right. She's all right. She's okay. Yeah. It's not a bad or a negative thing, but it's not super positive either. Next exercise, match a question in A with an answer in B. What's your teacher like? Of course, I want everybody to say she's great. She helps us a lot. So number 1, letter B. What's your teacher like? She's great. She helps us a lot. By the way, the camera adds about 4.5 kilos. I am not this big. I'm not. It's just a camera. What's your teacher like? She's great. She helps us a lot. So number 1, B. Number 2, what sports do you like? What sports do you like? Cycling and skiing. Letter F. Number 2, letter F. I'm talking about this exercise here, number 3. So number 1, what's your teacher like? She's great. She helps us a lot. So number 1, B. Number 2, what sports do you like? Cycling and skiing. So number 2, letter F. Number 3, what does your brother look like? So his appearance. What does he look like? He's got blonde hair and blonde eyes. Number 3, letter D, as in dog. Number 4, do you like pizza? Do you like pizza? I love it. Number 4, letter E. Letter E. The thing about pizza, I heard somebody say, I think it's a saying. I think it's common knowledge that a lot of people say that pizza, even if it's bad, it's still pretty good. The worst pizza you ever have, it will still be okay because pizza is that great that it's always kind of good no matter what happens. Unless, of course, it's burnt. Anyhow, number 4, letter E. Letter E, I know that in Norwegian, it happens a lot when I spell things out for my Norwegian kids, and they know a lot of English. They kick ass, pardon my French, at English. But sometimes when I spell something out and I say letter E, I'm expecting them to write this, letter E. But instead, they think of the Norwegian letter, which is, this one is letter E in Norwegian, E. But in English, this is letter E. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It helps to sing the song. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I'm not going to sing the whole thing. One day maybe I will. Maybe I'll make a video just singing and teaching different songs to memorize things. So this is letter E. A, B, C, D, E. And in our region, this is letter E. So do you like pizza? I love it. Number 4, letter E. Number 5, what's the weather like today? Let's talk about reality first. What's the weather like today? The sky is blue with a few clouds, but not too many. I think an European person would probably say that it's warm. I don't think it's warm. I'm wearing a scarf in here, and I'm this close to putting on my jacket. I always have this jacket with me. That's called a bubble jacket, also known as a down jacket. And it's not politically correct or animal friendly to wear it. And I probably shouldn't be wearing it because it's made out of feathers inside, the feathers of an animal. It's called a down jacket or a bubble jacket. And I wear it inside very often because I got cold, colder than everybody else. And it's not because I'm from Brazil. I know quite a few people who are from Brazil and live here, and they're not as cold as me. I just don't like the cold, so it bothers me more. Moving along. What's the weather like today? Lovely, warm and sunny, I wish. But according to the exercise, what's the weather like today? Letter A, the first letter of the alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, A is the first letter. Sometimes Norwegians get it mixed up. And I know why, because your alphabet is A, B, C, D, E. And the English alphabet is A, B, C, D, E. You get a hang of it. So, what's the weather like today is letter A. Lovely, warm and sunny. Number 6, how are your parents? They're okay, busy as usual. So this is not about how they are as in what are they like? Are they pleasant people? Are they people that like to talk a lot? Are they quiet? No. When I say how are your parents, I'm asking about their health, their well-being. How are they? Their well-being, their health, their state of mind. Are they happy? How are they feeling? It's more along the lines of that. Let's move on to the next page, page 47. You have some pictures here. Singapore, Dubai, and what's the other one? I can't read backwards. When I put it in front of this, I'm seeing it mirrored. And Shanghai. Those are 3 big places. Those are not small places, those are big places. We're going to listen. I hope that I can play the audio file here, but if not, we are 5 minutes, about 5 minutes into when we're going to go into our video conference. Right now, it is probably about 7:55 p.m. in your world. So in my world, it is not. But by the time we're all watching this together, it will be. So it is okay because I'll play it. And if it doesn't play, we can make arrangements to do it in our video conference on Skype. So we're just going to listen to a quick audio file. What's Shanghai like? It's very big and noisy, but it's very exciting. Exciting. Very, very positive to say that something's exciting. We're almost there. 6.1. I'm already on 6.4. I really miss my cassettes. I started teaching in 1990. And back then, we used cassettes. It's after that.
And skiing. 3. Exciting. Chinese food. Buildings everywhere. I. What did Dubai is the hottest place.
Okay, so here it says listen again and check. But here is my tip for you. Of course, I have given you the link to where you can listen to the audio, and you can buy the CD if you really want to keep something like that. But here on the book, on page 126, page 126. And if it is too difficult to understand what's being said, you can open the book, listen, and read simultaneously. Because when you do that, you actually exercise your ability to understand and visualize words. It's really good. It's a really good technique. So you can look up all the answers on page 126. You have all the tape scripts for Unit 6 of this book, which is a very good book. The Headway series has been around for many, many years, and they update it constantly. So it is always current. It's one of the best books ever written for EFL and ESL teaching. And no, they did not pay me to say that either, just as they didn't pay me to drink this. I should probably drink less soda. I drink diet soda. And everyone says, oh, it's not good for you, Pollyanna, but it's my one thing that I do. I'm pretty good about everything else. I don't smoke. I don't drink alcohol. I have my diet soda sometimes. So now I would like you to take 2-3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, get up, stretch, drink some water, pee, do what you need to do, and then we'll all meet on Skype. And this is our last day for this term, but after summer vacation, we can see what's going to happen. I really would like to continue teaching this group. I don't know how it's going to be with Escola, if Gisela is going to open a group or not. I don't believe she is intending to open a group. If not, then you can arrange with me for private classes, get some information about that. You can have it on a private setting with me, either online or I'm not sure how it's going to be with the place at Escola, but we'll see what happens. But we'll talk about it on Skype and we'll get an idea of what's going to happen. I like this video better than the video I have at home. I think I look a lot more presentable under the light. The light makes me look a little bit less tired because then you can't see the dark circles under my eyes, and I look well rested, and I'm so tired. I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning today. Anyway, 5 minutes. I'll see you on Skype at 8:10 p.m. 2010. 8:10 p.m. I'll give you the link. The link will be popping up in the chat box. Or in the chat box. I'm not sure if this is going to be mirrored, so So I'll see you then. 8:10 p.m. on Skype.